Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Louise and today I'm going to be telling you about what my experiences growing up in a haunted house. This is part 2. If you haven't gone and watched part 1 yet, I'll link that down below, so if you want to watch that first you can, or you can watch this one first and then watch that. It's not really that important. I have my cup of coffee, I have my biscuit. So you might want to do that right now. You might want to pause this video quick, get comfy, get yourself coffee, tea, whatever you like, some biscuits, chill, and we'll get right into it. Before we get started, I want you to make sure that you've clicked that red button somewhere, wherever it is, and subscribe and click the notification button so you can see the next time I upload, because I'll be uploading a lot of more crazy stuff, you know, where you're gonna miss out, you know what I mean? So obviously in the last video I told you about the time that happened with Rashawn, and we heard that demon thing walking up the stairs, and you know, that time. If you haven't watched it, you can go and watch it now. So I forgot to mention in that video, so before that actually happened, or when I was a lot younger, must have been like 10 years old, and I had Ashley stay over. Obviously you might know she's my best friend, so she stayed over. My little sister's best friend at the time stayed over. We won't even give her a name because it's not really relevant. In the morning we woke up and we could hear like something downstairs. It was like, I don't even know what we heard, but we heard something, and then we was creeping each other out. Like obviously no one had got up yet. It was like one of them, like really early in the morning. Must have been like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was before anyone was up. So me and Ashley, being the brave people we are, we sent my little sister and her friend downstairs with a camera. Well, not a camera, it was one of them Motorola phones. We sent them downstairs because I remember hearing something about like cameras never lie and it catches things or whatever. So I'm all like, we might catch something on the camera, whatever. So she brings the phone down. Her and her friend are walking around and they're like videoing from as soon as they get down to the bottom of the stairs into the living room, and they're like doing this. And like they're whispering to each other like, oh, this is so scary. But they're like holding the phone and they're like looking around the room. And then, so that's in the living room, and then I've got like this double doorway into the dining room. So then they're like, they've not gone into the dining room, but they're like putting the camera into the dining room, and then they come back upstairs. Yeah, so when we watched the video first, and the first like watching it you don't really see nothing and you're like, okay. But then I watched it again and I noticed that she slowed down as she got towards the dining room. I could see something and I paused it, and like literally you could see a man standing there. We had like a fridge there in the dining room because there wasn't enough room in the kitchen at the time, so there was like a fridge there, and just beyond like the fridge you could see this like old man. It's kind of see-through-ish. It was really weird. It's like he was kind of grey bluish. It was like grey but with like a tinge of blue. Like it was really weird, and you could see his like features so clearly. When I paused it wasn't like, you know, when sometimes you take a picture of a dark room and then you're like, you can kind of zoom in and like make faces out of like the shadows and stuff. It was not like that. It was so clear. He was like, you could see like wrinkles on his forehead, and you could see like wrinkles under here. You could see like, you know, people have wrinkles here. You could see them, and he was like he looked confused, and he was looking directly towards the camera like kind of like that, and he was wearing a blue shirt, and he had like a blue, it was kind of like a blue, kind of not like a light, but it was like a glowing blue kind of color, but a bluey grey. I can't even explain it. It was the weirdest thing ever, and obviously we all saw the same thing and we're like, what the hell is that? So I wish I could like show everyone that video now, but them times, yeah, no one even knew about YouTube, or I didn't anyway. Obviously I'm a kid, I don't know what to do with that video. Show as many people as I can. It was kind of like old news after a while, and it was one of them phones where you either had one video or one song, and there was like a song that came out, and I was like, one of my friends had Bluetooth me a song and I had no memory, so I was like, delete that video, and I got the song. So my mum has seen this old man in a blue shirt, and my stepdad has as well. One time, like not long after we first moved in there, my mum was in the living room. She woke up before everyone else, and she was downstairs in the living room drinking her tea or whatever, watching TV. She saw what she thought was my dad come downstairs and go into the kitchen, and she noticed he was wearing his wearing a blue shirt, and he wore a blue shirt for work. So she thought he was wearing his uniform, but she's told me that she thought it was weird because he doesn't normally work on a Sunday, and it was on a Sunday, and she thought it was quite rude as well that he didn't even say nothing to her. Like normally he would turn around and be like, morning or whatever, and he didn't say nothing to her, but she was like, okay, rude. And then he went straight out into, she could hear the keys for the back door, and then like heard him go out and close the door. And so she was like, he's gone straight down into the garden, which wasn't really weird for my dad anyway, because he just made a pond in the back of the garden, and he liked going out there and checking on the fish. So she didn't really think too much about it. And then quite a long time has gone by. She's starting to think like, where is he now? Like, why hasn't he come back in yet? So she goes out into the kitchen and she looks out the window and she can't see him, but where the pond is, it's like behind the shed. So she's like thinking, at the bottom of the garden, so she's thinking maybe he's gone round because there's like a walkway over the pond and he liked to stand there a lot. So she was thinking, oh, he must be there. And she's thought, do you know what, forget it, I'm going to go out and speak to him. So she's gone to open the back door and it's locked, and she's like, why the hell has he locked the door? Like, why has he locked the door when he's gone out there? That's like weird. But anyway, she went out there, still couldn't see him. She got to the bottom of the garden, she looked round into the pond and he wasn't there. And she was like, what? She looks in the shed and she looks everywhere, he's not there. And she's like, what the hell? And then she goes around to the front garden, she looks for him in the front garden, she's like, where the hell has he gone? Like, obviously his car's still there and that. And she's like, what? She comes inside, she looks all downstairs, he's not there. And she goes upstairs and he's laying in bed, and she's like, why the hell have you got back in bed for? And he's like, what are you on about? And she was like, you come downstairs and you've just got back in bed, how did you get past me? Like, I didn't even know that you come back in. And then he was like, I haven't even got up yet. And she was like, what? No, you went downstairs in the garden. And he's like, no, I didn't, I haven't been up yet, you just woke me up now. And then she was like, what the hell? And obviously he wasn't wearing them clothes as well, so she was like, what? And then obviously she didn't want to rule anything out, so she thought it might be my older brother. And then she went and asked him if he'd been up yet after so she waited obviously a while, she would go and wake him up. But when he did get up and come downstairs, she asked him if he'd been down earlier, and he said no. So she's like, what the hell was that? And so she basically was like, it must have been a ghost. And then obviously my mum and dad split up, and then she is now with like another man. She didn't even tell him nothing, like she didn't tell him anything about that. One time, so he'd been living at my house for like a couple of months, and then something, I can't remember what happened, but he was like, oh, I just saw like a guy walk from in the hallway into the kitchen, and he was surrounded, he was wearing a blue shirt and he was like surrounded by like a blue light. We all seen the same guy, mate. Like, that was just weird. Anyway, so another time I was sat in my dining room I had like, you know, one of them little small laptops, like the mini laptops. I had one of them, and like a little pink one. You can't tell I love pink things, like my little pink TV, my little pink laptop. French Bulldog for life. So anyway, I'm on the laptop, yeah, and I'm doing my coursework for college. I'm just sat there chilling, it's middle of the day, people like, you know, I'm like looking at the laptop, and then from this part of my eye here, something black just goes across both of my eyes. It's like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, the hell? That was it. That's just that whole one experience. I just saw something black go past my eyes, and I'm like, what the hell was that? So another time, I'm sat in the living room and I'm watching TV, and the dining room, so basically in my dining room, my mum has like a dining room cabinet, and at the bottom there is, so just imagine it's like cabinet, there's like cupboard, and then there's like, I don't know what they're called, shelves, I don't know, and then like goes up, there's like a space there, goes up, and then there's like the glass unit at the top with the doors, and then there's like more shelves there, you know what I mean? And on the cupboard doors at the bottom, instead of like a handle, like a metal kind of handle like that, it's like that, like it hangs down. Ooh, that looks weird. It hangs down, yeah, so like you would kind of like have to pull it. I'll use my vape. So say this is like the handle, it's like loose, like you like that, and it's like magnet, you know what I mean? So it has to click, so it's not like no swing and open thing, and you can kind of shut it and it can easily swing open with a breeze, and you've got to pull that hard because it's like magnetic, yeah. So I'm sat and I'm watching TV, and I can see into the dining room, and then I'm just watching, and it's like people were just walking around the house, but obviously no one's in the dining room, and I think just me and my sister was in the living room, and we're watching TV, and then all I hear is like slam. It obviously, like, I could tell it came from that cabinet, like the cupboard door open and shut, like, but slam shut. Obviously I didn't hear it open though, but I just heard it slam shut. And then I looked straight away, like obviously I'm facing this way, and I could see into the dining room, and I'm like, I look, and the handle was like shaking, like you sit on the cupboard, like closest on the door closest to where I'm sitting, and I could see it, like it's like shaking. So clearly it's shut, but there was no one in the dining room, and it's not like I had to walk around the corner and look and someone could have run out. No, I was like this, and I just looked straight away after I hit a slam, and no one's there. So some go slam that. My mom's had that a couple of times as well, but you know, shitless everyday occurrences in that house. A few people have reported this in my mum's house, but I've heard it as well. It's like a little girl laughing or a little girl crying, like or it could be a boy, I don't know, but it sounded like a little kid like laughing and crying. So one time, yeah, it was like late at night, so I go in the shower, I'm all washing up, you know, washing my hair, getting clean and sparkly, you know, and I'm just like, you know, minding my business, obviously you can lock the door from the inside, so I've locked the door. I'm in the shower now, yeah, and like I hear someone trying to open the door. And I'm just like, I don't say nothing because I'm like, I know if they really need to go toilet, like I'm thinking it's like my family. If they need to go toilet, they're gonna knock. I'm just gonna let them in because there's a shower curtain covering me anyway, and I just let them go toilet. It's not a big thing. So I didn't really think nothing of it, but it was just a bit weird that no one said like I need to go toilet. But I just thought, you know, sometimes when you could try and go in a bathroom and someone's in there and it's locked, you just walk away. It was kind of like that, yeah. So I'm just like not thinking nothing of it. I'm washing my hair, and then like I just get this weird feeling, like, you know that feeling where you feel like you're being watched. Like pretty much straight away after that I start getting this eerie feeling like that I'm being watched, and I'm like, I need to hurry up. I just get this feeling like I need to hurry up, like I need to get out now, like this is creepy. And as I'm like I haven't turned the shower tap off yet, as I'm about to turn off the shower tap, I hear the tap in the bathroom like turn on. And it's not like on a scary movie where it's like shh and it turns on like that. It's like turns on and you could just hear the water running. I'm like, I turn off the shower and I'm like, I can hear it, and I look and then it's like kind of running, but it definitely wasn't running before. And I was like, ew, something is in the bathroom with me. I'm like, get my towel, I run out. I'm like, allow it. Run into my bedroom. Not that my bedroom's safe anyway. Not long after that I moved out, not because of all of that stuff. I moved out because me and my mum wasn't getting on at the time, and I moved to Ashley's house because she got me. But anyway, when I moved into her house, I noticed that I didn't have that scary feeling. Like my house, I always felt scared to be on my own, whereas when I was in her house, it didn't matter. When I was on my own in the bedroom, I wouldn't feel like I was being watched, which was a really strange feeling for me, because then I was like, it just shows how creepy my house was. I ended up moving from Ashley's house into Rashawn's with his mum and him, and I ended up getting pregnant. And then, like, it's a long story, but I ended up, by the end of my pregnancy, we had to find somewhere else to live. I moved back to my mum's house for like only a couple of weeks. I was laying in my sister's bed and she went and stayed at a friend's. Yeah, so I was in her bedroom and sleeping on her bed, and then I woke up in the middle of the night and my duvet was off it. Like, I never ever kick the duvet off of me. If anything, I will put my leg on the outside of the duvet, and I like actually tucking the duvet between my legs and like kind of cuddling it like that. So I woke up in the middle of the night and the duvet is bundled up right next to me on the floor. Like, not where my feet was, like as if I kicked it off of where my feet is. It's like right next to my head area on the floor, and it's cold. So I'm like, ugh. I just pick it up, half asleep. I pick it up, put it back on me, and I go back to sleep. And then I don't know how much longer after, I woke up and the duvet was like halfway down my body, but it was like not like in a way that I'd kicked it off. It was just kind of like as if it had been pulled down. I was like, I pulled it back up and I went back to sleep. Like, at that time, obviously I'm half asleep, I'm not really thinking much of it. Then I've woken up in the morning, and as soon as I've woken up, I've thought more about it. And I'm like, because when I woke up the second time and I felt like something, like my blanket was all the way down at the bottom of my legs, it felt like something woke me up. Like, it wasn't like I just randomly woke up. It was like something woke me up. So it was just like, I was thinking about it and I was like, hold on, why would I have kicked the blanket off of me and it be in a bundle? It wasn't like spread out, like it'd fallen off. It was like in like a bundle on the floor next to my head area. Like, I'm not gonna pull up all the blanket and then push it off me in my sleep. Like, I never ever do that. I've never done that, and I've never done that since. So like, it was just really weird. So then I'm like, oh, did something like drag the blanket off of me in the middle of the night and then try doing it again? Like, is it trying to rape me when I'm pregnant? Like that creeped me out. And I'm like, I'm pregnant, like I've got a full-on belly and everything, and it's like, creepy. Basically, right next to where her bed is, there's this like cupboard. It's like a built-in kind of cupboard, so it like leads on into the airing cupboard. The door's never fully shut. Like, they don't click shut, they kind of stay kind of open. And she had such a big fear because she kept saying that every night she would wake up and the doors would, obviously she'd go to bed and they'll be closed, and then she'll wake up in the night and they'll be wide open, and she would hear something in the cupboard. Like, she knew someone was in there, or she thought someone was in there, and she's all like, I'm not staying in that room until you get a lock. So they had to actually put a lock on that cupboard, and obviously where I was sleeping, I was facing that cupboard, and where the blanket was all bundled up was right outside that cupboard. So it's just kind of creepy. I didn't stay in there after that. I stayed in my other sister's room, which was my old room. Another time, this is after I've had my baby, and he's like a toddler walking around or whatever. He hasn't got like words yet or anything. I've gone to visit my mum and I'm at her house and wherever. It's like night time. My son goes into like where the kitchen is, and he stands in like in the kitchen doorway, so we can see him from the living room in the, like, obviously the living room doorway's here, and then the kitchen doorway's like right next to it. He's standing there. So then I've gone behind him, and I'm like, what is he doing? Because he's just standing there and he's laughing at, like, looking at something in the kitchen, and he's laughing. He's like, ha ha, like, probably laughing, and he's fixated on it. Like, he's not responding to me or anything, but he has autism, so he doesn't really respond anyway. So I'm like, Caden, like, calling him, and he's not responding. He's just looking at wherever he's looking at, and he's laughing. So I've gone and I'm kneeling down. So I'm like kneeling down next to him, and I'm looking at where he's staring in the kitchen, and I'm like, Caden, what are you laughing at? And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like trying to get his attention, and he's just so fixated on whatever it is, and he's laughing, like, he's giggling and looking, and he's like following his eyes, and he's like this, and he's like, ha, he's laughing, and I'm like looking at him like, Caden. So I'm looking, and I'm looking back at him, and I'm looking back over to wherever he's looking, and then I'm looking back at him, and I'm talking. I'm like, Caden, what are you laughing at? And then I'm like starting to get a little bit serious now. I'm like, Caden, what are you laughing at? And then as I've looked back at him, I see like this black hand, and it's kind of like smacks him on the back of the head, and I even hear that. You know that sound? I hear that, and I see his head jolt forward. Mate, I got up, I started crying, I grabbed him, I started like, ah, what the hell was that? Like, it was like a charred hand. That's all I can explain. Like, black. Like, all I saw was like a black hand, and it just smacked him on the back of the head. Not hard, but it was like it pushed his head forward like that. It was just proper, like, at the time, like, obviously I was so scared. Even thinking about it now, it's so scary, because it's like, don't touch my kid, like that's physical. It's just scary thinking about it. But I got up and I was proper hysterical. I was hysterical. Like, my mum and stepdad got up and they were like, what happened? And I'm like, did you see what that was? Like, what the hell was that? And I'm like trying to get it out, but I'm so upset it's taken me a long time to actually get it out. And then I'm like, I'm going home, like, no. And then another time I'm at my mum's house, and I'm telling her that she needs to like read the Bible and get saved and all this stuff. I've ordered a pizza. I'm waiting for it. I bought pizza for everyone, so I've gone and visited my mum again, and I've got a pizza for them. So I'm telling my mum all of this stuff, like, you need to start reading the Bible, you need to get this house like blessed or something, like, this house is just next. Yeah, I hear the door. So because obviously I'm buying a pizza, I go to answer the door. I answer the door, I get the pizza, and like, as soon as I shut the door and I'm holding the pizza like this, and then I feel like I've got my hair up, yeah, so it's like my neck is exposed, and I feel like a breath on the back of my neck, and it makes all my hair stand up, and I'm like, and then I hear, stop it, like a woman's voice, stop it, in my ear, and like I just got shivers all over my body. I was like, I ran in the living room, I told my mum, I was like, oh, that was so scary. Like, it was fully a woman telling me to stop it, and I'm like, mate, this thing obviously did not like me saying that to my mum. So another time, my little sister Claire was staying over my house, and I'd obviously gone to go pick her up, and she had to go and get all of her stuff from her bedroom and get ready, and we were all downstairs, and I went upstairs to go to the toilet, and when I was in the toilet I heard someone come upstairs. I've gone out of the toilet and I've gone into my brother's room, which was my old room. At this point now it's his room, because my other sister who took the room after me, she'd moved out as well, so it was now his room. So I've gone into his room and I've just sat on the bed right where the doorway is. Like, obviously, as I said before, the doorway is like there, and the bed is like right opposite, like one step, and you're on the bed. It's the box room, it's so small. So I'm sat on there and I'm just on my phone like this, because I thought I heard her come upstairs and go into her bedroom. So I'm like, I'll just sit here a second and wait for her to get her stuff or whatever. And I'm just sat on my phone, and then like I'm sat like this, and the doorway is like right here, but I'm kind of facing like this way, you know what I mean? So I can see into the hallway. I'm like this, and I see her, my sister Claire, I see her walk. It's her, definitely, like fully, it just, I'm pretty sure same clothes, everything, like blonde hair, and she walks out of her room and into my mum's room, and the door was closed, so she had to open it, and I heard like the carpet scrape against the floor. It was like open, and then I'm like, oh, Claire, and I'm just saying something to her, like, I can't even remember what I'm saying, I'm just talking like about stuff. I'm like, oh, Claire, and then like after a while I'm like, she's not answering me back. I'm like, Claire, and she's not answering. I'm like, I get up to go in my mum's room, and as I get up and I look into my mum's room, it's like pitch black, and I'm like, this girl is trying to scare me. That's all I got. But I got kind of eerie feeling. As soon as I walked into my mum's room, I had like an eerie feeling, and I'm like, she's trying to scare me. Like, I know she's not gonna try and make me jump. Like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm not jumping today. I'm like, Claire, I know you're in here, stop playing games. She's not answering me back, and I'm like, I turned the light on, and then there's like no one in there, and I'm like, then I'm thinking on the other side of the room is like the other side of my mum's bed, and there's like a gap down there, and I'm like, she's hiding down there. So then I go around the bed, I look and no one's there, and I'm like, who the hell just walked into this room? I go and look into my sister's room. I go and look, I'm looking around, I'm like, she's not in here. Look in the bathroom, she's not in there. I go downstairs and she's downstairs on her phone, and I'm like, Claire, when did you come downstairs? She was like, oh sorry, I haven't been up yet, I was just doing this, sorry, I'll go up now, get ready. And I'm like, you were just went into mum's room. She was like, no I didn't. I'm like, yes you did, girl, I saw you, I was speaking to you and everything, and you weren't answering me back. And she was like, no, that wasn't me. And then I'm like, Claire, seriously, you was upstairs? And she was like, oh, not again. And I was like, what do you mean not again? And she was like, mum's seen me as well, but it's not me. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, a few times recently mum and Chris has seen me when I'm not actually there. Like, I'll be out of the house and they will see like the back of me, and they'll be talking to me, turn around, look back, and I'm not there. And then they're all asking me, like, you know, and then she's like, Louise, don't tell me no more, because this is creeping me out, because something's imitating me and all of this. I've got a doppelgänger and all this stuff. And I'm like, it was just weird. It looked definitely like her. It was just really weird. So there was that time. Right, so basically this last time I'm just going to tell you about, that is related to the house. This didn't actually happen in the house for me, but my sister basically, yeah, I'm just going to tell you. So I'm at home, I've got my little baby, and I'm home alone, my boyfriend's at work, I'm sat on the sofa and I'm watching TV. And at this point, I've not long moved into this house, so we didn't have Sky or anything yet. We literally was watching Netflix on the Xbox. And so I'm watching Netflix on the Xbox, and I'm on my phone at the same time holding my baby because he's sleeping and he never wanted me to ever put him down. And then I get a WhatsApp from my sister, and it's like a video, and she goes, look at this, this is so creepy. And then she sent me it. So I click on the video, and I don't know if you remember on my first story time I told you about that me and Ashley saw the keyhole, the gold plate thing that covers the keyhole, it was spinning round and round and round and round. So the video is of the door and it's of the keyhole, and I'm like, as soon as I see that, I'm like I just know what it's going to be. And then I click on it, and the video is like 5 minutes, nearly 6 minutes or something like that, and it's just of this keyhole spinning thing. It's just spinning round and round and round. It's not changing speed, it's not like going slower. And then right at the end it just goes boom, and it just stops. It doesn't like slow to a stop, it just stops. I'm messaging her, and then I'm like, what the hell? And then she goes like, yeah, that was even longer, it was spinning for even longer than that video. I tried videoing it on Snapchat and stuff, and then I realised that it's not going to stop, so I need to get a longer video to prove how long it's spinning for. So she's messaging me that, and then I get this feeling like something's in the living room. Like, I just get scared, and I don't know whether it's just because I was scared because that brought up a lot of stuff, like I hadn't been scared in a long time, and then I saw that and it reminded me of what's happened to me in that room. I was just kind of like creeped out. I'm like, and then my Xbox that I'm watching just randomly turns off, and the Xbox controller is on the other sofa on the opposite side of the living room, and it just turns off, and my heart starts beating bare fast, and I just get this feeling of dread. I'm like, something bad is about to happen. So then I ring my sister, and I'm like, Kirsten, and she, like, Kirsten, help me. I'm almost crying, and I'm like, Kirsten, I'm proper scared, like the Xbox just turned off. I just got this really horrible feeling. And she's like, Louise, hello, and I'm like, what? And she's like, Louise, you're proper cracking up, like it sounds really creepy, it's gone all staticky. I'm gonna have to hang up and call you back because I can't hear you properly. Once she said that, I got scared. In my head, I'm thinking there's something in here and it's not allowing me to speak to my sister, like it's causing the phone to go staticky, and I'm gonna die. And me and my baby are gonna die in this house. And I'm like proper panicking. I think more as well because I'm holding my baby and I'm like so scared. And I'm like, Kirsten, no, don't hang up the phone. I'm like, Kirsten, don't hang up. Even if you can't hear me properly, just stay on the phone because I don't want nothing bad to happen to me. Please just stay on the phone, And I'm crying, I'm begging her. And she's like, okay, I'll stay on the phone. And then like, after like a couple of minutes, and I'm like, Kirsten, I'm crying. She's like, Louise, it's okay. She can't really hear me properly. And then she's like, I can hear you properly now. Tell her what happened. And she's like, Louise, you're just scaring yourself. It's okay. And I'm like, mate, I feel something here, like, you know what I mean, like it's kind of creeped me out a little bit. That was that time, and that was the last time for me, I think, anything to relate to that house. So that's the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'm nearly finishing my coffee now. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I didn't enjoy going through it, but you know. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like the video, please can you click like on down below or whatever. Can you click like, and please let me know if anything happened to you in your whole life, like what paranormal experiences you've had, and whether you have had anything similar to the experiences I've had, because that'd be pretty cool if you have, because, you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so that you are notified the next time I upload. Thank you. Alright, bye!